The Portuguese Magnifico, that is Bruno Fernandes, could have represented Switzerland at the World Cup when his family nearly immigrated to the land of mountains. Ever wondered what he's like off the pitch? Let's have an inside look at his modest lifestyle. Bruno Miguel Borges Fernandes was born on 8 September 1994 in the town of Maia in Porto, Portugal. Bearing both his mother's maiden name Borges and his father's surname Fernandes, he grew up idolizing the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, and Ronaldinho. Fernandes played on the streets of Maia with his elder brother Ricardo and was known to support Manchester United. He started attracting attention from a very young age due to his inherent skill with the ball. He was offered an opportunity to train with the Porto's academy, but the middle-class boy had to settle for their rivals, Boa Vista, because of the transportation they provided. But how did he go from playing in the streets of Maia to being a key player in Manchester United? Bruno Fernandes' football career began in earnest when he was signed by Novara in 2012 and moved to Italy. Despite his initial struggle with homesickness, he gradually settled in the country and went on to play in both Serie B and Serie A under clubs like Udinese and Sampdoria. His big break came in 2017 when he returned to Portugal after being signed by Sporting Lisbon for a reported fee of 8.5 million euros plus bonuses. Fernandes grabbed headlines during his spell at Sporting when he won the Primeira Liga Player of the Year award twice in 2017 and 2018. Having tasted success with Sporting Lisbon and making a reputation for himself, Bruno joined Manchester United in 2020 for a fee of around £67.6 million. He has been a key player for the Red Devils ever since, making 100 appearances and contributing 38 goals and 26 assists in the Premier League. In his first season with the club, he won the Premier League Player of the Month award twice in succession, a feat achieved only by Ronaldo before him at United. At the national team level, Bruno has been representing Portugal ever since he was playing in the Under-19 tournaments. And though he was not considered for the senior national team during his stint in Italy, he finally made his way into the Portuguese side before the 2018 Russia World Cup. Since then, he has been called up to the national team in all major tournaments, including the UEFA Nations League and the Euro 2020. In the recent World Cup, he has been one of the top performing players and have been vital in his team's success in the tournament. He has equaled the 56-year-old record by being directly involved in 5 goals, the most by a Portuguese player in a single tournament since 1966. Sorry ladies, but the rising star of European football is already married. Apart from his immense skill in the game of football, Bruno Fernandes is extremely rare in another way. He's one of the lucky few in the world who are married to their childhood sweethearts. It has been widely known that he found it hard to settle in Italy when he first moved there in 2012. Things got better when his girlfriend Anna Pinu moved to Italy too. The couple got married in 2015 and are now parents to a 5-year-old daughter Matilda and a 2-year-old son Gonzalo. Also worth mentioning is the fact that going by his social media profiles, Bruno comes across as a doting dad and seems to be very close to his children. The Portuguese star also has a tattoo of the number 8 on his arm as a tribute to his father who played football and wore the number 8 jersey. Currently one of the top players in Portugal and a key player in a major club like Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes is one of the best paid footballers in the world. Like any other player, his primary source of income is the salary he gets from his club, in this case, Manchester United. And before you think he is like any of us because he gets a salary, wait till you hear the amount. As per the last estimations, he earns a dizzying 240,000 euros every week. And that figure does not even account for the additional benefits, perks, and bonuses. And guess what? That is not all. Yes. As a part of the national football team, Bruno also gets a paycheck for his performance in the national side, and he's also sponsored by Nike. Bruno's paychecks were not always this hefty. When he started playing for Udinese in Italy, he had a weekly income of only about 4,700 euros. Over the years, this amount has increased as he has carved out a place for himself in football. As far as net worth is concerned, Fernandes is estimated to be around 7 million euros. However, his market value surpasses his net worth by a huge margin. Bruno Fernandes' value in the current transfer market is estimated to be around 75 million euros. With a weekly paycheck as high as a skyscraper, an over-the-top, lavish lifestyle may seem to be the only choice. And this is where Bruno Fernandes is no different. He has a house in Porto, and his social media profiles are littered with pictures of him having fancy dinners with his wife. He's also known to own an impressive car collection and go on expensive holidays. However, in spite of his talent on the field and the wealth it generates, this seasoned athlete seems to be extremely grounded in life. He comes across as someone who prefers a quiet private life, and you won't find him showing off private jets and donning outlandish outfits on social media, even if he's using them. Maybe it stems from his modest background. But if you value a person staying true to themselves and not getting influenced by trends even when they can, then Bruno Fernandes is your guy. The one thing that stands out in his seemingly grounded persona is his love for cars. Known to be a motor enthusiast like so many other football players, Bruno appears to be gradually building his collection. He already boasts a collection of car models like the Mini Cooper JCW, the Audi Q7, and the BMW X5. But that is not all. The midfielder owns premier cars like the Range Rover Sport, the Mercedes-Benz TLC Coupe, and the Porsche Panamera Turbo S. For the unaware, these might be just fancy car names, but once you know that the Range Rover has a V8 engine capable of producing up to 576 HP power, or that the Porsche Panamera can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds and costs $190,000, you gradually realize the true value of this collection. Like all other athletes, Bruno has had his own share of spats and setbacks. From injuries to bad form on the field, the Portuguese star has seen it all in his career. However, the most notable controversy occurred in 2018 when he was still playing for Sporting Lisbon. During those uncertain times, the team along with the support staff were attacked by some supporters after they lost out on the qualification for the Champions League. They sustained some injuries, but the matter was soon forgotten. Other than this, Fernandes faced serious flack for underperforming in the Euros 2020 when he was demoted from a first-team starter to the bench due to his poor performances. The player also escaped a major accident in April 2022 when he crashed his prized Porsche Panamera. Thankfully, he did not sustain any injuries. To put it all in a nutshell, Bruno Fernandes has been gradually emerging as a force of nature in European football, and that reflects in his performances both for his country and club. Although his immense wealth does bring him a lavish lifestyle, Fernandes is an extremely private person and does not flaunt it.